All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. We're wrapping up the first quarter of the year. So next time we chit chat, it'll be Q2. So I want to discuss and dive into kind of the first quarter, how it went. I know a lot of you guys gave me your business plans. So just gonna leave it open-ended for y'all to discuss January, February, March. How did it go? Did it go according to plan? Did it not go according to plan? Whose fault was it? That's also a piece of accountability. Did we do our part? Did we push, but we just had a miss? And that's okay. We can talk about how to fix that miss. So open-ended, unmute yourself, talk about Q1. Who wants to go first? Nobody wants to go first.
Well, I'll call myself out. I completely dropped the ball. I walked away from my business, walked away from my life a little bit, did a little reflecting, and now I'm back.
Uh, um, okay. I guess dive into that a little bit for me. Walked away and did what? Um, how'd you do? And now that we're back, what does that mean?
So, had some personal things going on in my life. I needed to walk away and get my head together. Still getting my head together, which I think is good. I think sometimes you do need to walk away and figure out what you truly want. I think my path is changing, and that's good because I believe in change. I think that's how you grow. Um, New challenges. What I was doing was not working for me, might still not be working for me. Um, but now I know that I'm just going to start taking the steps that I need to and just focus on my business, get rid of the distractions, um, and just be real with myself and be okay with it.
I like it. So what does be real with yourself look like? What is that?
Just
What is that?
stop bullshitting myself, stop um, cleaning the house, making excuses. Oh, I got to walk the dogs. Oh, I got to empty the dishwasher, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Just finding things to not do what I need to focus on
For sure.
and just make it a priority. And I haven't, because I've made, just to be frank, I've just made everybody else in my life the priority. My daughter's wedding, us moving here, my husband's business, my son getting acclimated. I worked so hard to get everybody else situated. And then I'm standing there going, okay, I'm all alone in a condo with 3 dogs and I have no business now. So it's my time now.
I like it. So I mean, obviously you're a spouse, you're a mom, and so my spouses and moms can probably speak to it better than me. But I know for anyone and everyone, habit stacking has helped me out hugely. And habit stacking is more of like a to-do list, honestly. So it's like, hey, after I do this, I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do it every single time. After I do that, I'm gonna do the next thing every single time. So not to pull you away from like your responsibilities and things that actually like need to get done for life to be clean and productive, but for your business to be clean and productive, you can literally say, hey, I got to do the dishes, but after I do the dishes, I'm going to immediately go into connecting with my campers or my people, my coach, my clients, right? And
Right.
then after that, I'm going to go right into social media. And then after that, I'm going to go do laundry. And then after that, I'm going to go do right. So we just start stacking things. The easiest thing to stack on are things that have to be done every day. So dishes probably have to be done every day. Brushing your teeth has to be done every day, right?
Right.
Some of us work out every day. So stack something on top of that, right? It is so funny. I'm so big on habit stacking. And so after I get done with my workout, I drink a protein shake. If I don't work out, I like don't know when to drink my protein shake. And it doesn't even matter, right? Like doesn't even matter. But I just like since I'm out of my routine, I'm literally confused. I'm like, should I have it at 8 a.m.? Should I have it at 10 p.m.? Like when should I drink my protein shake?
Mhm.
And so it's truly, truly helpful to try to lay your life out like that and start with the things that have to be done every single day and stack something of your business or of your personal growth on top of those household things that need to get done every day.
Right.
And you get a to-do list, right? And then as you check those boxes off, you will start to feel more confident. You'll start to feel more productive. Jonathan and I talked about it on the podcast the other day. people love a good to-do list. And when you check stuff
Yeah.
off, it's just like the
Mhm.
most accomplishing feeling ever. So again, try to put that with a business from a business standpoint of you create that to-do list, but you stack it on top of like your mom or your spouse or your life to-do list as well.
And I also find time blocking works good for me. Instead of saying like 6 to 7, I'm doing this, 7 to 8, I'm doing this. And if I miss that window, I'm like, oh shit, now I screwed the whole day up.
Mhm.
So I like saying, this is what I'm doing in the morning. This is what I'm doing in the afternoon. And that works for me
Love it. For
moving
sure.
forward.
All right. Who else? Ooh, Brenda. Brenda. It's just
Hey,
go ahead.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to kind of quick hit it because it's kind of frustrating and I kind of just want to be like, get it out there, get it done. So I kind of had a little bit of some like big like loss. I had I think 10 nutrition clients fall off. So that kind of like messed with me a little bit in terms of like as like a newly single mom and like single income, it was really scary. And I kind of let that like get me like pretty depressed, pretty freaked out. And then I got my shit together and I stacked up a couple different like events and just started working events to try to get leads. I also used Shara's daily task list thingy and I like made it my own. And so I really started just drilling down on like shit that I need to do like every single day. And like you said, you check the boxes and you get it done. Um, so kind of dug myself out of that rut, just going, look, like you got to survive. Make you have to make it happen. So I got like 15 leads at one event, and then I got 6 leads last night that I'm going to follow up on today. And really, it's just a matter of like growing my outdoor camp and my nutrition clients because I lost like, I think 2 outdoor campers and like 1 online or something like that. So it was just kind of like a lot all at once. And I've been on such a like trajectory of like up, that all of a sudden feeling that like down was like, what the hell? But we all know progress is never linear. So I'm like treating it like, okay, well, this is that trickle down and there's only one way to go from here. So that's where I'm at.
I like it for sure. We kind of have a little talk about this on our Facts Over Fast call yesterday. I was trying to find you. I thought I could see how many people we had cancel um, really quickly, but I can't. I don't know how. We've been going through a massive cancellation as well at Facts Over Fast. But yesterday on our call, we were talking about the difference between like total revenue versus total client count, especially when you have multiple products or when you have tiered products, right? So I was telling our coaches that, hey, like our total revenue is up, but our actual total client count is down, right? And so it's kind of scary. Like right now, it balances itself out, but for future growth, it's actually not good, right? It's like, hey, we have less people coming in, but we're charging more money, so we're kind of staying afloat. But long term, in 60, 90, 120 days, that's going to be a bad thing. So, you can utilize that type of stuff. And so I'll give you some ideas here in a second. But taking CG, that's what they did. They said, hey, we're having less clients come through the door. So let's launch nutrition, let's launch yoga, let's launch cycle, let's launch all of these other things to get our current clients to pay a higher premium or pay a higher monthly fee to include some of this stuff. But clients aren't coming through the door. So it's still a tough spot to be in. So a couple things to ease maybe some of your angst over the situation is like continuing to push maybe like a challenge that has a little bit of a buy-in for your current clients or new clients. And so it's always a good thing. Or I know you also do like some gear and stuff. So instead of maybe raffling that gear off for free, could you create your own gear stuff to bring you in some revenue as well? Because I know you're big on like the bags and the hats and stuff like that. So how can you monetize some of that stuff? And so, but again, your bread and butter is going to be on all the leads that you generated, right? And so, and also into the facts of facts people too. Something that we don't do very well is lead nurture, and the lead nurture process could take a year. And we think it's a text message we send every month that's like, hey, Brenda, like checking in on you. How's your health doing? Like, I got a promotion going on. That's not lead nurture. That's you trying to make a sale, to new people. So lead nurture could be relationship driven where you don't talk about their health at all. You're like, how's life? How's the kids? How's family? So on and so forth. And it also could be education and resources. Like, hey, just learned about this, wanted to share it with you. Let me know if you think it's helpful. And it's not sales driven and it's not, I'm just trying to get a new client. It's literally, I'm nurturing you, right? And so that process, though, we get very bored with it very fast if people don't sign up. But it's like, man, if you actually nurtured something for a year, that person that you're nurturing would probably really, really trust you at the end of the year. So if and whenever they were to get help, they're going to come to you first, which is also why social media content is really powerful as well. Because if you're consistent with social media content and people can always go to your page for guidance and security with whatever they're doing, whenever they do make the flip to spend money on something, it's gonna be with you. You know what I mean? So nurturing is really, really important. So with all the leads that you just got, I would think through a nurturing type situation. You yell at me all the time because I never ask you about your day, right? So I'm like, okay, well, shit, if I wanted to nurture Brenda, I got to ask her about her day. I can't just be whatever. And so do the same thing with your clients, right? And so, because again, at the end of whatever period, when that person does go to jump, they're going to jump with whoever they trust the most. And hopefully it'll be us through our nurturing process. So that's for everyone here. Like, if you have a list of leads, do your best to create a new kind of system to be able to nurture them. And that looks different for everybody. But with the Facts Over Fads clients or Facts Over Fads coaches, like I gave them 100 leads each. So with those leads, I was like, hey, we've got to create some sort of system that we're reaching out to these people to where it's not just sign up, sign up, sign up, promo, 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 save, 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 coupon, coupon, coupon. It's actually like you're trying to actually build a relationship with someone. And it's frustrating and it's slow and sometimes it goes unnoticed. But at the end of the day, it'll pay off much more than just here's a coupon code every 30 days. Are you ready to sign up yet? Like that shit gets old really fast. I don't know if that was helpful or not, but nurture those leads and think through maybe some things you can do in the interim to take value of your current clients and increase it. And whether that's through a challenge, that's through gear, whatever the case may be. You can totally do that. Who else?
Really quick to Brenda. This is Stephanie, by the way. And I'm with CG as well. But something that we're doing as a team in the Woodlands, is we are creating for, I guess, our busted list or our lead list, whatever you want to call it. We started creating a monthly newsletter. Well, we're about to put out our first one, and it just has like different life tips. It comes with a free meal recipe that they can do, a nutrition tip, an exercise that's just a written one, and then also a link to an online exercise that's completely free. They don't have to sign up for anything. And so we're just going to start sending that out to our list, and we're not putting a link to anything. So they don't feel like this is salesy. It's just here's some value from your neighborhood CG trainers. And we're putting a picture of who we are, where we train, and that's about it. So that's maybe something that you can do. And if you would like the template, I'm more than happy to send it to you. But that's just something that we started doing. Anyway, that's it.
I love it. I think Brenda's gonna say something.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Yeah, and honestly, like, if you need help with content, like, dive into Chat GPT. I know it sounds so stupid, but a lot of us get flustered with what do I say? How do I say it? whatever the case may be, or like it sounds cheesy, but Chat GPT will like make your life so much easier when you're trying to nurture things. So I'm literally going to walk y'all through like how easy it could be for you. So if I'm in Chat GPT right here, Jonathan, calm down. I'll talk to you in a second, dude. Goodness. I'm just kidding. So I can say, hey, write me 10 text messages to nurture leads that I want to deliver fitness information and education to. And boom, it will pump me out 10 text messages. Like it's literally that easy. And so now if you don't like this content, you can say, do it again, but deliver more education. And now I have 10 new text messages. You can also change the tone of Chat GPT. So something that we do for the Grind to Greatness, Jonathan doesn't know this, but he's about to find out. When I write the scripts for our Grind to Greatness podcast, I can say, use a stern, direct tone. So I can even direct how I want the things. I can, or put a loving, fun tone. So you can even create the way you want it to speak. So if you're more of the nice guy, the funny person, you can curate that tone within ChatGPT as well. So now I have 30 different options, pretty much saying the same thing, but a little bit different each and every time. And so this could be the same thing for your newsletters. I can literally say, write me a fitness newsletter to people that I want to sign up for my boot camp. And it will write me a newsletter. So again, like this is how easy it could be for you to push out content, for you to direct its tone, for you to be able to say, like, write me another newsletter. Oh, I spelled that wrong. On why sugar is not bad for you. So all of these like popular topics or things like that that you want to discuss, but maybe you don't know how, like please dive into the resources available through technology, which is ChatGPT. So again, I've now got 2 newsletters and 30 text templates in the last 3 minutes that I've been on the phone call with y'all. So if you struggle with lead nurture, if you struggle with email, if you struggle with newsletters, if you struggle with whatever the case may be, plug it into ChatGPT. And if you and read it, obviously, don't just copy and paste. But if it doesn't sound like you, or if you're like, that sounds too cheesy, just tell it to rewrite it in a new tone, whatever tone you want. So rewrite it in a more serious tone, rewrite it in a more educational tone, rewrite it in a more fun and exciting tone, and ChatGPT will do it. You can always tell ChatGPT exactly what you want, and you just tell it, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. So like, for instance, when Jonathan and I do our podcast, I tell ChatGPT, hey, write me a description of our podcast for the Grind to Greatness with Jonathan and Joseph, and use a very serious, direct tone on the topic of toxicity, right? And boom, it just goes. So don't overthink your content. Don't overthink your intro. So like that first text message you send to nurture someone, let ChatGPT do it, and then you get to build off of it. So of course you send an email, hopefully some people respond. When they respond, that's truly you. When you send a text message, let ChatGPT do it. When they respond, that's truly you. But a lot of us get stuck at the opening phase of, what do I say? How do I say it? Did I already say that before? Let ChatGPT do that initial work for you to bring people back. And so let them respond. And then once they respond, it's obviously all you. So I like it. Yeah, so there you go. And Sharon just posted a script in there as well. So, so for all of us who need help with nurturing leads and delivering more value and more content, it can be that easy, right? So 30 text templates, 2 newsletters, I built it in 3 minutes. Now I can go and edit them. I can go in and tell it to change its tone, whatever the case may be, but I got a bulk of it done in 3 minutes. So don't let AI go by the wayside when it could 10x, which is Jonathan's word, your productivity. So just make sure you're using it as efficiently as possible in a capacity that you need to. And schedule stuff out. Like you can schedule out your emails, you can schedule out text messages nowadays, you can schedule out whatever you want, social media, all that stuff. So stop trying to do stuff all at once, or stop trying to do stuff on the fly, because that might also be causing some of that paralysis by analysis, right? It's like I have so much to do, I'm not going to do any of it. So schedule stuff out. I like it. All right, who else? We got about 10 more minutes, and then we'll dive into some nerdiness. Q1 recap. Tips, tricks, frustration.
I'll go do a little recap.
Yeah.
So this past quarter, my whole plan was to, get a team into my system and see how well my current systems that I have. I never had a bunch of athletes all at one time with online coaching. I've always just had them one-on-one, so it was a little bit easier to coach them. And so I was testing out my systems and to see how well I was going to convert with a large group of people, connecting with parents, trying to get the athletes to do well. So out of 12 athletes, I converted 3, which is around 25%, which is a little frustrating to me, only just because I thought I was going to get the whole team. Everybody was doing so well. Athletes all did amazing. The toughest part for me was to get the parents to connect. So I did learn a whole bunch. I didn't have a whole lot of parents responding. I was texting them weekly, trying to get them updated like you guys do in CG World. The weekly text to make sure they're staying engaged, because last time I had a couple athletes in, I couldn't get the parents to respond at all. So this time I got them to respond a little bit. And so there's still a big gap and a lot of learning of how to communicate better with the parents because they have the purchase power. And so that just happened. And then the following month, I was like, cool, let's get another team. But I had to learn something else. The opportunity, I just hired a new trainer, just kind of helped me get everything situated. And so learning how to hire a new trainer, I'm on ChatGPT. I'm asking Joseph of what that onboarding system looks like. What does the legal stuff look like? And so that took a bunch of my time because I don't even know what I was doing. And so now I'm trying to systemize everything and organize everything. And so that's a lot for my brain. So that took up a whole lot of time. So I haven't had an opportunity to get another team or even try to get another team because I'm in the middle of taking 30 hours of how to get a job, another job number 3 for directing kids after school programs. So there's a lot of curriculum. So with Joseph, I'm on pause with my business right now until I finish this curriculum so I can get going with this after school program stuff. But after that, then I'm a little stressed and have some anxiety because after that, there's nothing else in my way. And it's like back to oh shit, back to work. Let's go get another team. Let's test. And so a little nervous that, when your plate's clear and there's no more excuses, right? I'm sure everybody can feel what that feels like. Can anybody relate, or am I the only one?
You're the only one.
Yeah,
So we're all good.
Yeah, about to be back at the start line and see if I can improve or not. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, so I guess my biggest piece of advice is even while you're going through this onboarding process with a new spot, don't drop your social media content that you've been posting for athletes and for clients. Don't stop that, because then whenever you go to start back up again, everyone watching you will be like, where's he been at? Where has he been at? You know what I mean? I struggle with this with Tyler Wagner. Dude will go missing on social media for a while. Then he'll post 30 posts a day. And I'm like, bro, where you been at? You're so inconsistent. It's really hard to trust your social media content or value you as a coach because he's so hit and miss. So even when we get, for Lisa too, even when we have these ebbs and flows of whatever, you can, it's like a dial switch. Never turn it off and turn it on. You can dial it down, you can dial it up, but never turn it off and never turn it on. So even while you're doing all this stuff, still go into ChatGPT. Hey, make me a Facebook post about badass athletes doing badass shit. Copy, paste, post, right? Attach a picture. Boom, that took you 3 seconds. So just try not to go MIA in the social media world or talking to your clients or with lead nurture. Like if you have a bulk of parent emails, like just give them one or two a week or a month, whatever capacity you want to do. That doesn't pull you away from all the stuff you have going on. But yeah, that's my biggest advice. Just don't go missing while you're trying to do this other stuff. We've got to figure out how to dim it to keep life balanced so you don't go crazy, but don't turn it off. Just keep something trickling, keep the water trickling in. Because again, like every time I see Tyler post, I'm like, I just like keep scrolling now because I'm like, bro, you're not even consistent. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So try to stay a little bit consistent with it. What
We
up?
hit the street, brother. I'll pick it up, my man.
All right, bro. Meredith, what up? What are you doing? Nothing?
I'm actually putting challenge clients in a group over here so I can message them.
So proud of you.
I never work on a Saturday, but it's kind of lazy. We're getting ready to go to a birthday party, so I'm over here doing it.
I like
I don't know. You're talking about nurturing a while ago. Like, I think that's probably one of the single most important income producing activities that you can do. And I call it an income producing activity because it may not be income today or tomorrow, but it could most definitely be income 6 months from now or 12 months from now. I mean, I've had people come in the last, I don't know, month and a half that I talked to a year ago.
Yeah.
And people, like, to the point of consistent posting, people are always watching you, even if they're not interacting with you. And this particular person, I met her last year at an event. We chatted, and then I didn't see her anymore or whatever. And then she comes up to me this year at the same event, and she was like, I've been stalking you, and it's time.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna
I know life can get you discouraged, like to Jonathan and Brenda. I mean, and it gets busy. Like, I've been a single mom. I've been the multiple business owner currently. And it gets hard. The other thing that we tell our clients all the time is yesterday's done and you can't undo what you did. So just get back on track today. So even if you feel like yesterday, like Lisa was talking about, like, even if you feel like, okay, well, I've just shot this whole day because I missed this window or whatever happens. And even if you sit on the couch and eat a pint of ice cream because that's how you feel, tomorrow's a new day. So just get up and hit the reset button and start over.
sure.
And I say that as much to myself as I am saying to y'all, but that's just what's the thoughts that have been running through my head as y'all been talking.
Yeah. So I mean, and that goes back to like the content, right? Of consistently posting content, even if you have a busy life or a busy moment. I can't tell you how many people who have come to my DMs. They're like, hey, I've been watching you for like 2 years, finally got the courage to reach out. Tell me what you do. Tell me, how do I sign up? Can you answer this question for me? Whatever the case may be. I had a buddy from high school reach out to me the other day. Never talked to this dude at all, but we know each other from high school. And he literally says, hey man, I have a random question for you. What is your opinion on the vaccination? We're not going to get off topic on the vaccine. But he goes, what is your opinion on the vaccine that doctors are requiring for kids? I have a baby and our doctor told us that we need to get immunization shots, and they get 3 shots every 2 months. I just value your opinion, so I thought that I would ask. Like, that's crazy because I never talked about vaccine and I don't have kids. But for someone to come to me and be like, hey, I value your opinion. And literally what I told him was, I was like, I'm not an expert. You're asking the wrong guy. I love that you value my opinion, but you're talking to the wrong dude. So I pointed him in the direction of other people who would be smarter in that topic. And he was appreciative. He was like, man, it's like, again, I value your opinion. Thank you for saying you don't have the right answer, but pointing me in a direction of someone who might have the right answer. So stay consistent with your content, stay consistent with your delivery of content. Jonathan and I talk about this a lot. Sometimes, not so much now for me, or maybe even Jonathan, but when you're attached to a company like CG, or when I was attached to CG or Gold's Gym, sometimes you change who you are because you're scared of what the company will say about you. So be careful not to lose yourself because you're trying to appease the company. I would say stay true to yourself, stay true to how you want to deliver content and how you want to talk to clients. I was just talking to Stephanie the other day. There's been plenty of times where I was out at a boot camp where I would shut the music off, I would stop the workout, I would bring everyone in, and I would literally ask all these adults, 40 of them at a time, what the fuck are y'all doing? If you want to give me half-ass effort, go home. Like, I'm not here to put up with half-ass effort. And that was totally against CG policy. CG is all about fun and recess and connection and community. I was like, yo, we're trying to work out. That was my mission, right? And of course, I got complaints and stuff like that, but I didn't care. Like, it's really hard. And so again, if you're attached to a company, I would say just be careful not to lose yourself due to their values or mission or HR policies or whatever the case may be. And you're now like a puppet and you don't feel true. So everyone's like, I'm just so burnt out. I'm just so burnt out. I'm just so burnt out. It's because you're trying to be someone you're not. It's because you're trying to fake it. It's because you feel scripted. The moment that you present yourself freely, you present yourself organically, you present yourself honestly, you say what you want to say, you mean what you say, there's truth behind it, then you will stop being burnt out so fast. Which is why, like, everyone's like, Joseph, you need to take a day off. You're going to burn yourself out. And I'm like, no, I'm not, because I love what I do and I do it exactly how I want to do it. And no one's going to tell me how to change how I do what I do. Right. And so that's my tidbit for all of you people working for somebody else. Like, like Meredith, Courtney, Leslie, CG people, like, I tell my coaches all the time, go do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Like, I want you to take whatever offers we have and you run in whatever direction you want to go, as long as it's honest, as long as it's truthful, as long as you're not lying to people just to make some money, as long as you're not using gimmicky verbiage to target heartstrings and be a POS. Like, go outside of that, like, go do whatever you want. Because again, I know at Gold Gym and CG, I felt the pressure to act or to talk a certain way. I cannot tell you how many Facebook posts I've taken down because CG told me I had to take them down. So just know, like, that stresses people out. That is why you will burn out, is because you are constantly feeling the pressure of acting a certain way that isn't true to like who you are, or you feel restricted in some way. That is why you will burn out. There's a great quote by Inky Johnson, and it's, people don't burn out because of what they do. People burn out because life makes them forget why they do it. So make sure that you know what you're doing and you're doing it in a way that you love, that you do it in a way that you are comfortable, and you just be your true, authentic self. And I don't think you will ever burn out. It hasn't happened to me yet. And I've been here for 10 years doing the same shit over and over and over again, being the same asshole over and over and over again. I love it. So go be an asshole, and I promise you, you'll last a lot longer. No, I'm just kidding. Go be yourself, and you will last a lot longer. And so, and a piece of that is also, and John and I talk about a lot, a piece of that is also getting help in areas that you're not strong in, and being able to maybe like outsource it if you can. And most of this outsource is going to become chat GPT. I'm not good at making content. Cool, go to chat GPT. I'm not good at sending text messages. Cool, go to chat GPT. I'm not good at sending emails. Cool, go to chat GPT. So that's also a piece of burnout. So you have to, later, Meredith. So you have to, again, figure out your strengths, figure out your weaknesses, and then be able to, like, what's the leadership term? Delegate things out to areas that make your life a little bit easier. Because again, most of this is like, oh, I hate sales. Well, you don't have to do sales as much if you're a really good coach. So go be a really good coach, and then hopefully sales just becomes easier for you because people just naturally buy into your product, right? I'm not good at social media. Cool. Let's let ChatGPT do it. I'm not good at this. Cool. Let's let ChatGPT do it. So just spending your time wisely, delegate when and where you can delegate, use resources and stuff that make your life a lot easier. ChatGPT is free. Yes, it is witchcraft. That's about all I got. And so again, it's just massively helpful from a content standpoint. And so I told real quick, hold on, Jared. So we have interns, right? And I needed another recipe book, and I wanted 50 recipes, and I wanted it to be along the structure and the boundaries that we have at Facts Over Fads. So I told the interns, hey, I need you to create me a recipe book. Well, these 20-year-olds don't know how to create recipes. They don't even know how to cook. So I literally said, hey, I'm going to show you how to utilize ChatGPT, and I want ChatGPT to make all the recipes. And you just copy and paste it and format it into a template. And so they did. And so now we're about to launch our second recipe book, which took them all of 3 days to build because ChatGPT built it. And we were able to say, hey, make me a recipe that doesn't use oils, that doesn't use butter, that uses G Hughes sugar-free sauces with a protein, a carb, and a veggie. Boom, pumps it out. And then you just copy and paste, copy and paste. So again, massive workload. I don't want to create a recipe book. I don't cook. Interns don't create a recipe book. They don't cook. ChatGPT did it. So just make sure you're utilizing the stuff that you have at hand. And so going back to Leslie of witchcraft, like, yeah, like, oh no, they're gonna have all my data and all my information. They already have it. So calm down. Like, you scroll social media way too much for you to be private. So you'll be fine. What up, Shara?
I was just gonna like update like my quarter 1 progress. Like, I did everything that I wanted to do and had written down, but I'm also like I'm realizing that I'm going as fast business wise as I can, and I can't go any faster, and it's frustrating for me. And so I'm trying to learn to be okay with not going any faster than how I am now, because every time I try to go faster, I get pushback from my environment.
So with that being said, you have a very hands-on approach to coaching, I think. And so maybe you could create more of an automated style coaching, maybe for a lesser, like for a lesser value, but that would generate more income, but less responsibility from that one-on-one standpoint, which is why we do like what we do at Facts Over Fads. Like, you're paying me $60 a month. I'm not giving you one-on-one attention. I'm not pouring into you. I'm not like, I'm going to give you the tools, the resources, the automations, the programs for you to go be successful. If you want more communication, accountability, resources, one-on-one time with me, then you're gonna have to pay for it. And so that's where like the upgrading and the downgrading, the low entry, maybe a middle entry and a high entry kind of product comes in standpoint. But what could you do with your platform to say, hey, $20 a month, $30 a month, you have access to just the app with whatever resources you can build and assign to them, and you don't do anything. You just give them shit, and then whatever they do, like they do.
Yeah, I have a low tier option and then a higher and a mid tier one and stuff. And then because I have 3, I don't know how often to be marketing each one of them too.
Ooh, Alex Hermosi talks a lot about that in the book $100 Million Leads, of like how you want to do it.
Yeah.
And what is like your goal. So your goal could be, hey, I'm going to push for, like, right now, since social media is pretty good for you and you have kind of a schedule there, could your social media content push them to the low barrier of entry and get that low price point, just get them into your app? And that's like almost like a little bit of lead generation for a low price point. And then whenever you have the capacity to upsell them, then you do it at that time. But if you don't have the capacity to take on a bunch of high tier clients, then stop trying to push that. You know what I mean? So push the, but like, it's like, well, I can take on one client, and yeah, that one client gets me $200-300 a month, but it stresses out my relationship. It makes me feel like I'm taking away from my kiddos. I like just have anxiety over it. But I can take on 10 $30 clients, and it literally adds no stress to my plate. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what I would do. And then if seasons ever change, if your environment ever changes, then you can go back to, okay, now I want to push more of the higher end product or whatever the case may be.
Okay. All right.
Got it? Like, anyone else? All right, we're gonna dive into creatine. I don't know why, because I want it. I always feel like whatever's hot on social media right now, I want to talk about. And right now on my algorithm, it seems to be creatine. And I don't know why, because creatine's been around forever. So we're gonna go through it just because things have all of this massive benefits and we're going to go over some super awesome stuff doesn't mean that everyone has to take it, doesn't mean that this limiting factor is or this factor is limiting their progress. But could it be a tool? Could it help? So on and so forth. Absolutely. Same concept we did last call with NAD. Could NAD help an athlete recover, help with endurance, help with whatever? Yes. Is it mandatory? No. Do you need to go push it on every single client? No. But the more we learn about NAD, the more we learn about creatine. When those clients present some of the issues that we're going to talk about, you can now have that piece of advice to say, hey, have you tried taking creatine? Here's why I think it might be beneficial for you. Okay. First and foremost, the only massively studied version of creatine with 100% benefits and 100% saturation of the muscle cell, we'll talk about that here in a second, is creatine monohydrate. Monohydrate. If someone has a different version of creatine, could it still help? Yes. Could it be a little bit different? Yes. Is it the gold standard? No, the gold standard would be creatine monohydrate. If that ever changes, I will let you know. But there's about 2 or 3 other versions of creatine. All are probably safe. All are probably fine. Are they as good as creatine monohydrate at this point in time? That answer is no. Okay. So what does 100% saturation of the muscle mean? We have a limited storage of creatine. And so that's why the daily dosage is about 5 grams a day. You can do a loading phase from 10 to 15 grams a day to expedite that for the first week. So again, it would take you about 2 to 3 weeks to get 100% saturated if you did 5 grams a day. You could get 100% saturated in 1 week if you doubled or tripled the dose. Now, the problem is creatine does cause, all creatine does cause GI discomfort and GI distress, gassiness, bloatedness, whatever else the case may be. Okay. I struggle with it. Almost every single client I ever talked to struggles with it. It's just a thing. A couple things that combat that bloat or that gas is when you take it. So I stopped taking mine before my workouts because then I would go to my workouts and I was like super gassy, and that's like not comfortable for anyone. So I take it at bed. I take it when I go to bed, right? So I go to bed, I just sleep through it. Am I farting in the middle of the night? I don't know, but who cares, right? Nobody's there. So so that's kind of like work with timing. You could partner it with certain foods to help out, but just know that's going to be a thing for anyone who takes it. Okay. So now what is creatine? Creatine is your primary energy source for maximal effort and intensity for about the first 10 seconds of exercise. These are 6 to 10 rep maxes, or well, 10 rep maxes and below. This could be a 100-meter sprint. This could be your HIIT trainings, true HIIT, not just like circuits. Anything that is maximal effort, your body's going to pull primarily for creatine for about the first 10 seconds. Then it's going to push over into carbs and sugars, and then it's going to push over to fats, right? So now, if we could give ourselves more creatine, the muscle is 100% saturated. Could we push that 10 seconds a little bit further to 12 to 15 seconds? Yes. Why would that be beneficial? Well, now when I go lift a certain weight and my max is 8 reps, could I now get 9 reps? Could I now get 10 reps of the same weight? If you can increase exercise performance, we're now going to increase exercise adaptations so we can build more muscle, we can get stronger, we become more powerful, so on and so forth. So that's just like a base level of creatine usage and physiology behind it. So it's an energy source. It's our primary energy source for maximal effort. Let's start there. And so the first little bullet point in your notes in the Google Doc is it's increased muscle strength and power. So creatine supplementation has been shown to enhance phosphocreatine stores in the muscle. That's our 100% saturation, which can improve performance during high intensity, short duration activities like weightlifting and sprinting. This can lead to increased muscle strength and power output because we have more gas in the car to do those things, right? So put some more gas in the car, you can go a little bit further, you can drive a little bit faster, all of those things, okay? Now, second bullet, enhanced muscle growth. Well, if you're taking 100 pounds and you used to have to stop at 8 reps, but now you do 10 reps, 11 reps, 12 reps with the same weight, we're creating more tears, we're putting more load and more tension on the muscle. Absolutely, we're going to have more muscle growth, okay? So creatine can promote muscle growth by increasing the water content in muscle cells. That's not muscle growth, that's false. Stimulating muscle protein synthesis, that's true. Reducing muscle protein breakdown, that's true. This can result in greater gains in muscle mass over time, particularly when combined with resistance training. So the first one of it holds water. Yes, people think water retention from creatine and bloating are the same thing. They're not the same thing. Water retention from sodium is extracellular. It's outside of the muscle cell. It's in between the muscle and your skin. So that water retention makes you look puffy. Creatine doesn't make you look puffy. Creatine is inside the muscle cell, which is essentially blowing up a balloon a little bit bigger. So you have a balloon, that's your normal muscle. You put 2 or 3 more breaths in that balloon, it stretches the muscle, it makes the muscle appear bigger, which makes the muscle appear more toned. So could creatine help our people who are like, I want to look toned? That answer is yes, but that is not muscle growth. I guess it is. It's muscles, it's increasing muscle diameter, but it's not actual muscle. It's just because we're plugging in water. Does that make sense? It's stretching the balloon with more air. It's not giving you a bigger balloon. I don't know if that was a good example. So first part of that is false, but the rest of it is true. All righty. So improving exercise performance. Creatine used to only be studied with strength and power in the first 10 seconds, but now we're saying, hey, it's actually really great for all types of performance. All righty. And so creatine supplementation has been associated with improved performance in various types of exercise, including strength training, sprinting, high intensity. This can lead to a greater workout capacity and overall athletic performance. So with creatine, and now we even see it in endurance athletes, mostly from, we're going to get to it here in a little bit, but mostly from its effects on the nervous system. Very, very beneficial to reduce nervous system fatigue, which is also called central fatigue, could help with cramping, could help with, again, more endurance type stuff. So it's not just for people who are lifting weights or sprinters. It can also be utilized for people who are more endurance based. So pretty cool there. Now, faster recovery can reduce muscle damage and inflammation following intense exercise, leading to faster recovery times between workouts. This can allow individuals to train more frequently with a higher intensity. This is because we also have more energy available, right? So going back to whatever the muscle growth one was, stimulating muscle protein synthesis. Well, if we stimulate muscle protein synthesis, which means that we can now recover faster, which actually means now we can now train more frequently and have less soreness, or have less of that, am I going to overtrain or am I going to injure myself? So that bullet point makes sense because 2 bullet points above that kind of walked us through. Okay. Neuroprotective effects, which is super exciting. I wish Deidre was on this call. Deidre is a great advocate for creatine and mental health. She's noticed it hugely when she started taking creatine, but some research suggests that creatine has neuroprotective properties and could benefit brain health. It could also help protect against neurological diseases, conditions, improve cognitive function, and enhance brain energy metabolism. So pretty exciting there. So again, I wish Deidre was here. I don't really notice those, and that's also because I'm overdosed on caffeine 24/7. So my brain is like not the best brain in the world, but I have that stimulus coming from somewhere else. People who maybe don't do caffeine, could it help with like mental focus and limiting like mental fatigue? Again, Deidre would be a great person to reach out to for that because she experiences it really well, and apparently Shara does as well. And then the last one, so potential therapeutic benefits. So creatine has been shown to promise in managing various health conditions, including muscle waste diseases, neurodegenerative disorders, and certain types of injuries. It may also have potential benefits for individuals with conditions like Parkinson's disease, depression, and traumatic brain injury, right? So Deidre, not to get into her drama, but she goes through some phases of anxiety and depression. Creatine massively helps with that. or helps her with that. Let me say that. So super interesting. The cool thing about creatine is one, like research has shown no matter what age you can do creatine and it will give you benefits safely. Two, there's no negative side effects to creatine as of right now, except for the GI discomfort and GI distress. And so again, are we bloating like in our stomach? Are we gassy? Yes, that's a thing. But all of the research is actually like very, very safe, and it's just getting better and better over time. So if you or your clients start talking about, hey, I'm doing all the things right, I promise I'm getting in my protein, I promise I'm hydrating, I promise I'm doing yada, 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 but I'm, struggling to get stronger, or my recovery is still slow, or whatever the case may be, recommending to take some creatine could be a helpful tool for those people. Okay, in whatever capacity, whether they're a boot camp client, whether they're a runner, whether they're this or that. Now, you will have to talk about the weight gain due to water retention, but it will stabilize. So if someone starts taking creatine and the first week they gain a pound or two, it's just water. It's not bloating. It's not like extracellular fluid retention like sodium. It's going inside the muscle. It's the only place we can store creatine is inside the muscle. Red meat has the most amount of creatine in it. So you could either have a red meat diet, risk the chances of high cholesterol, or you could just take some creatine. And so just be aware of that and trying to coach them through, hey, the scale might go up like a pound or two for a week or two, then it will plateau out. Then if your goal is weight loss, the weight will come back down. Your body just has to compensate and retain that water. But once you reach that new limit of your new water threshold, you're not going to like keep gaining water and gaining weight, because you're only taking 5 grams a day. Now, if you went from 5 grams a day for a couple of weeks and you jumped it to 15 grams a day, yes, there would be more water retention because you increase the dosage. So, but if you keep your dosage the same, 5 grams a day, every single day, even on non-training days, you need to take creatine every day, almost like a multivitamin. You gotta take it every day. So could be super beneficial, could help your clients see better results, feel a little bit better, recover a little bit better, get stronger, see better performance. I do know that when I take creatine, my workouts are stronger. I will tell you that. It is very clear. And so that's also exciting. So again, give your clients the recommendation, let them know it's going to take a week or two to kick in. Let them know about the side effects of GI discomfort. Let them know about the side effects of possible weight gain due to water retention. And then everything else will start flowing according to plan. And again, I think it's a huge mental health benefit, not from the last 2 bullet points, but just from I feel better, I'm performing better, I'm stronger, I'm recovering better. That will lead people to a lot of mental health positivity, rather than oh, I just killed myself during the workout, I'm gonna be sore for 10 days. Yeah, that type of mentality. So pretty exciting there. Try it yourself. If you haven't already, give it a month or so to actually like really feel the benefits. And then you get to connect with your clients on that as well, saying, hey, here's was my experience with it. I'm not saying this is going to be your experience. Like I just told y'all, like I'm gassy, I'm bloated. I got to stop taking mine in the morning because it ruins my workout. So I take mine later in the day. And then I just sleep through it, and it is what it is. So you get to connect with people on that. All right, 5 minutes left. Any questions about creatine?
Just really quick to confirm the age, you said any age. So what does that mean? Like even kids can take creatine, you're saying?
Yeah. If you're not following a doctor on Instagram, his name is Dr. Aragon, Aragon, studies creatine immensely. Let me figure out his first name. Aragon. Alan Aragon, the Alan Aragon on Instagram. Thanks, Shara. Studies creatine immensely. He's been giving his daughters creatine since they were like 5. So pretty cool. And I think they were both like college athletes as well. So pretty cool. Again, I got to watch him in a seminar talk about creatine specifically a couple years ago, and it was just like wow. And then you see a bunch of other smart people confirming like what he says as well. Again, just minimal side effects. The only thing is going to be GI discomfort. massive benefits, performance wise, recovery wise, building muscle wise, and then mental health stuff. Again, I can't talk about the mental health stuff because luckily I'm not depressed, only when Shara yells at me in the mornings because I don't wake up on time. But outside of that, I'm also highly caffeinated. And so also hard to be depressed and on crack cocaine at the same time. So I don't know about the mental health benefits, but again, Shara might.
Okay, Shara, then this is a question for you. Do you know any benefits with someone with ADHD and creatine?
This is for me. Yes. Okay. I haven't like read on that, but based on everything I see on ADHD, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. And just because everything that people post about ADHD applies to me as well. But ever since I have like incorporated creatine and strength training and proper nutrition in my lifestyle and diet and stuff like that, my mental health and function definitely has improved.
Okay, thank you. No, I have ADHD. I was diagnosed like in the last year, but my son who is 6 has ADHD. And so when he said it's good for all ages, I was like, maybe this could be something beneficial for him. So that's where that
I
came
could
from.
send you a study on what they did for like the research on kids if you wanted to, and because I think it has something on that there. I can look it up.
Yes, please. I'll DM you my email. Thanks, girl.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So with again with all this, even with like last week we talked about NAD, try it for yourself, but give it time. Natural stuff like NAD, creatine, any natural remedy, like you have to give it time. People want to take it day one and see results day two. It like the natural stuff doesn't work that way. It's the same thing with hydration. Like the only thing you'll notice with hydration, like when you actually get your hydration on point, is that you pee a lot. Like that's the only noticeable benefit. But give it a couple weeks and a couple months, like now you'll notice a really big deal. Or when you stop drinking all of your water, then you'll notice how rough life is from a dehydration standpoint, right? So take it yourself. If you need a journal, like a lot of times, like I tell people all the time, like journal about it so that you don't forget how you're feeling. And then again, give it some weeks, and then you get to connect with your clients on it. And I think it's a really powerful supplement. Yeah, if I stop taking mine, I'll notice like if I stop creatine, I will feel more tired in the gym. I will feel weaker in the gym. And then when I jump back on for like a week, I'm like, man, I'm so strong. I'm like the Hulk. So it's pretty cool. I don't really notice any, but I'm also really fat. So I don't really notice bloating and stuff. I don't notice any of like the size differences. I think females will probably notice it more than males because again, like y'all are more self-conscious about that stuff. But I don't notice that at all. But I'm also really fat. So there's that. Shara literally told me like I'm getting ugly because of that. It's fine. Yeah. I know. Shara's rude. I know. Everyone say, oh, Shara, you're rude. Yeah, it's fine. It's cool. All right. Well, I gotta jump. So for my people who kind of fell off track for Q1, try to refocus, reprioritize for Q2. We have from now until June. So get your life together. Go back to your honesty is important. Go back to your business plan of like, hey, here's what I want to accomplish for Q2, and then break it down by what you're gonna do for April, what you're gonna do for May, what you're gonna do for June. Then break it down by week. Then schedule stuff out. Stop trying to wake up and just go with the flow. It's going to cause you some stress. So say, I'm going to schedule out all my text messages, schedule out all my emails, create my what did you call them? Newsletters, all that stuff. Dive into Chat GPT, Leslie, type in that mother trucker and just be like, hey, write it in this tone, right? Like, I don't know, create me more variants of this one text message, like what the case may be. Sometimes Jonathan, you know what? I hate all of you. I hate all of you. Hope you all die. I'm just kidding. That was rude. All right. Y'all go do great stuff. I'll send the recap email here in a bit. The notes are in the Google Doc, but I'll attach that to the email as well. And then remember, all of the recordings are going to be on YouTube. And so you'll have that list of YouTube recordings in the other Google Doc, which I will put in the email as well. Okay. Miss you. Love you. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Welcome.